Right, today we're making a curry, and this is the idiot's guide to making a curry. There's no Jamie Oliver involved. No,
Macca Ruby, take one.
Yeah. No pretentious bull. This is real working class Lidl with a working class meal with ingredients from Lidl, and it's going to cost salt and it's going to taste good. So here we go. So first of all,
sorry for the wobbly camera.
That's alright. First of all, chop the onions roughly. 2 onions to start off with. Get them prepared. You'll need 2 onions, 1 clove of garlic, a couple of peppers, fresh coriander, some meat such as chicken, turkey or beef even, but you need to cook that for a bit longer, and some cumin seeds. Okay, so we've just chopped the onion and we're going to pause it there. So what we're going to do...
We're rolling.
Okay, so first of all, what we're going to do, heat some oil in the pan, and the first thing that we're going to cook is we're going to lightly toast some cumin seeds. Cost about £1 from the Asian grocer. Sprinkle them liberally in the bottom of the pan. Have a look at that. And all we're going to do is heat the oil and just toast them gently on a medium heat.
Is that gently or gently?
Toast them gently. Okay. The second thing you need for this recipe is at least 8 cans of strong Polish lager. Cheers.
We have to have like a beer counter on the top, so like
how many pints I drink while I'm making this curry. There we go.
Yeah. You've got to keep it, what's the word?
Healthy.
Yeah.
No, this is not a healthy meal, it's just a cheap, nutritious one. No pretensions about being healthy, it's just tasty.
It's just going to be, yeah.
Well, this is cooking for
We've got to have continuity, so the beer's got to go down and then be refilled and then
right, okay.
cook
I'll
out.
have to get another can out of the fridge in a minute then. Right, okay, so do you want to film that? We're just toasting the cumin seeds. You start to smell it when they start to toast and the oil heats up. Smelling good.
Tell me when to pause on that.
You pause it now.
Hang on, say that again.
1 clove of garlic. I'm just going to peel and crush the garlic and chop it. I'm going to put half in when I fry the onion, and half's going to go into the actual mix when the sauce is ready. So cut it in half, crush 1/2 down with the blade of the knife, and chop it roughly.
My name's going to be on the credits for the cameraman here.
Oh, I hope it will be, Russell. Okay, so you've got your roughly chopped garlic ready with your onion to go in. Right, just have a look at this. Right, that's the cumin seeds are pretty much nicely toasted. You can really smell them now. So the first thing that goes in is the onion.
Listen to that sizzle.
Now, what we don't want to do is we don't want to fry the onion. We just want to sweat it down. So we turn the heat down, stick a bit more oil in, and just over a low heat sweat the onion down so it's kind of translucent and clear, but it's not fried and burnt. Okay, so that's that. I'm just going to leave that for a minute, and I'm going to chuck in a 1/2 clove of garlic. Okay, and that's just cooking on a really low heat. And while that's cooking, you get my face, pepper.
Some people might say you've done this before.
Wash the pepper. Easiest way to deal with the pepper, take the top off, and then through with a knife in the middle. Just bang all the pips out. Okay.
Nothing like banging the pips out.
Nothing like banging the pips out. So just cut pepper in half, and again chop roughly into chunks. And we're going to put those in when the onion
3-second rule's gone, mate.
is a bit translucent. Okay.
Oh, you don't eat the top end bit then?
Yeah, you do.
You do?
Yeah.
Thought that was the dirty bit.
No. Simply get rid of the pips and chop the top bit as well. Okay, so we've got a nice chunky pepper ready to go in the curry. So that's cooking down. Just going to pause that for a minute. This part of the recipe is time for another can of quality strong Polish lager, because my glass is getting empty.
Look at that Zuba.
Oh, it's going to slip down the tree in a minute. Okay, so let's...
Other beers are available.
Yeah, other strong Polish lagers are available from the office. So those onions are sweating down quite nicely now.
Okay.
So what we're going to do, chuck the peppers in. And we're going to cook these down. And the reason we're cooking them down is we're softening up the peppers, because if you put them into the sauce, then they can still be quite hard when you have your curry. So you want them nice and soft and just sweat it down. Okay, so a bit more oil.
What sort of oil is this?
Olive oil. Cheap from Lidl. Remember, this is cooking in the real world. There's no aspirational crap here. Exactly, yeah. It's like a fat-tongued idiot who goes pucker all the time. This is how we cook in the real world. Okay, here we are, back again. Time for the meat now. This is we're using it's like 400 grams of turkey breast steaks. Purchased from Lidl, £1.49. Very cheap. Separate chopping board, obviously, for the turkey steaks.
Elf and safety.
Yep.
Don't want to poison anyone. Get some freebie that one.
Yeah, well, I'm only saying that because it's cheap. So what we've done is just defrosted them, and I'm just going to roughly cut the meat into chunks. Okay. And then we're going to put that into our curry mix, but it doesn't really matter how you cut the meat, just as long as you get it into sort of size chunks that you want to eat, really. There we go. Nice and rough and ready. So that's my meat on my separate chopping board, and that's going to go into my curry mix. Here we go. So what we're going to do is turn the heat up, and the next step is to just brown the meat with the peppers and the onions. So we're not going to have any sauce in there yet, we're just going to brown the meat. Okay. Okay.
And we're back in another.
We're resuming, so we're cooking again, and now we've moved on to the yet another brand of strong Polish lager, which is slipping down rather nicely. But back to the cooking. Right, what we've done now is we've browned the meat off with the peppers and onions and cumin seeds that we've done earlier, and now it's time to start making the sauce. So as the basis for the sauce, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to use a jar of this Lidl Madras curry sauce. Very good, highly recommended. And it just straight into the pan. Obviously, use a spoon to scrape everything out, get as much as possible in there.
How do you get all the bits out that are left in there?
With a spoon. Okay, so we've got a whole jar in there, so that's not going to be enough sauce. Okay, so we're using that as the basis of the sauce. So we're just going to stir that in. Do you want to have a look? As you can see, there's quite a bit of sauce there, but there's not enough. And what we want to do is we want to cook this curry down for quite a long time, so we get the flavours in it and it's really nice and rich. So we're going to add 1 carton of passata, which is sieved tomatoes. Very cheap, about 29p, ridiculously cheap. I'm just going to cut that open.
With a pair of scissors.
Add to the sauce, so that's pretty much, I'll put in about half the carton to start off with. Stir it in.
Got the painters in.
Yep. As you can see, that's obviously increased the volume of sauce that we've got there. Okay, so a little dash more. It's a bit thin now, so I've also, there is in the fridge. In the fridge got some tomato puree. Just thicken my sauce up. A couple of squirts. And I'm going to stir that in. So that's a nice rich tomato curry sauce. 1 jar of Madras as the base, but it needs to thicken up. But we've still got a half of garlic I did earlier on, so I'm going to crush a quarter now, roughly chop it, chuck it in the sauce to cook down, and I'm going to do the other quarter now as well. So roughly chopped. This is going to add some real flavour to the sauce. Okay, so stir in the garlic. The other thing that I've got is I've got a jar of West Indian hot pepper sauce available from Asian grocers, and this one I actually got from the pound shop. A little dash of pepper sauce to give it a bit of bite. So that's going in.
Strong smell, isn't it?
Yeah. So we're going to let that cook down. And what I'm going to do now is we've got a lovely bunch of coriander that we bought from the shop. It was a pound. Fresh coriander, obviously the best, much better than dried coriander. I'm just going to roughly chop some of the coriander up.
So why is it better than dried coriander?
Because it's got so much flavour, and it's just beautiful. It transforms, you know, a curry out of a jar into something that tastes like it's come out of a restaurant, because it's just giving that fresh flavour. So stick in a load of chopped coriander, stir it into the sauce. Okay, so there we go. So that's starting to take shape as a curry now, and we're just going to reduce the heat down. And I'm just going to let that reduce slowly for about 45 to 50 minutes while I suck on another can of Tisky. And then I'll revisit it. I'm going to put some more coriander in at the end, and then we'll start doing the rice and side dishes. But that's basically how you cook curry. Right, so we're on to our fourth can of strong Polish lager, but I'm still standing, I'm still cooking. So do you want to have a look at the pot then, Ross? There we go, so that's what we're looking like now. So this is about 15 minutes into reducing down. It's going to need about 45, but the curry's really starting to take shape. So obviously just keep it on a low heat, keep stirring it.
Sexy.
The sauce isn't, as you can see, is not quite thick enough at the moment. It's still quite runny. So what we're going to do is we're going to film it as it is now, leave it about half an hour, and then we'll come back and we'll film it and we'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. And you've got to remember that, you know, again, I can't stress it enough, I'm no Jamie Oliver, I've had no cooking experience. This is for real men cooking in the real world. I'm not some fat-tongued idiot or Nigel Slater mummy's boy. This is how real people, working class people cook and need to eat. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. If you're following it, it's top tasty, and there we go. Alright, cheers Russell.
Stop saying my name. I'm meant to be inconspicuous.
Not recording now, are you?
But it doesn't leave a mark on you.
Right, okay, back to the curry. Consistency, it's really getting there now. Hang on a minute, I have to turn it down. Kind of, oh.
Quite like the teardrop explodes.
Yeah, quality. Curry, do you want to have a taste, Russell?
Oh yes, please sir.
Clean spoon. How's that tasting now? Independent advice.
Very nice.
Right, so the curry is pretty much done. So I'm going to put that on a really low heat, and I'm going to start sorting out the rice and the extras. And pour myself another strong Polish lager, I think.
Seems to be quite a heavy sort of Polish lager influence going on in this cooking session.
There's a very strong Polish lager influence going on in this cooking session.
Should we pause that?
Last thing is supermarket naan bread. Pierce the holes, microwave. These are about 60p. Yeah, microwave for a minute and a half. Okay, and fantastic, job done. Serve with curry and rice. And that's it. That's how simple it is. Cooking, real men cooking for real people. No bullshit. Cheers.
Fantastic.